bringing you the latest news from Lubbock Cooper Athletics. This is the Pirate Fan Zone podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back in. We are in the Pirate Fan Zone on the High School Fan Zone on this Wednesday night, joined by the dynamic duo from Lubbock Cooper, Reggie Gibbs and Will Flemons, whose team is coming off of, I'm not very good at math, I used to be, 29-point win. That you heard Lee Scott's feelings when he was in here earlier. He said that his guys had been playing well, and then he ran into you. And now the flip side of that is you guys had a couple games there that got away. But is that just your district, Will? Because you're playing a Plainview team tomorrow that beat Monterey. Mm-hmm. Yes, Monterey beat Paladero there. Yes, sir. Paladero beat Amarillo High. Is that just your district?
That's the district. Any given night, whoever's hot is going to win. And, hopefully we're turning the corner because we have been ice cold for the last, and it's due to the competition we're playing that has really stretched us a little bit. And, these young guys have to grow up real early. And so some of these other guys had to mature a little bit. So it's the district. The district's extremely hard. It's competitive. You got great coaches in the league. And so it's a battle every day.
What did you guys do? I'll let Reggie grab this. What did you guys do so well last night that worked?
I really don't know. I went into that game sweating bullets. Like you said, we went into the gauntlet of our schedule, and we played well some quarters, didn't play well other quarters, and I really didn't know what team was going to show up. Will and I was in film. From the time we got to school to the time we got on the bus, got ready to leave, and I told Will, I say, hey, the scores don't change in those games, and I really didn't know what team showed up, and we jumped out there and got into an early lead, and for once we didn't let up, and I was real proud of that.
Now the reward is, I mentioned, you play Plainview tomorrow at 6 at your place, 4:30 and 6.
Yes, sir.
Plainview's not had a great overall season, but you may be playing the most dynamic scorer in your district, in Dominic Fulton.
Yes, sir.
Who I think is averaging close to 30, somewhere in that range. He's had some Leah Chavez type nights. Mm-hmm. And they've got other guys too. They've got some of their football guys that have kind of gotten up to speed. And like I said, they beat Monterey the other day. Reggie mentioned the gauntlet. You guys started with the teams that you took care of business, ran into the gauntlet. Now you're back to the group that you took care of. Is there some value to have started with them and now gone through the tougher phase?
Well, I think our kids understand what it's going to take. You can't overlook this team and go to the next team. You got to take it one game at a time. And just like you said, Mr. Fulton is dynamic. He can score in bunches and shoot the ball deep and does a lot of different things, and he's got his teammates playing well. So we have to do a fantastic job all around. It's not just Fulton. We got to make sure that we're boxing now, we're taking care of the basketball, we're rebounding. And so and this is a shortened week since games is bumped up because of the weather. Who knows? We hope we get the same team that we just got off the court with, but who knows? Anything can happen.
What do you tell your guys when it's, and you had an idea it was going to happen because of what was coming to you? When you've got that, should you tell them get off your feet? Like if you're playing in a tournament, you're back to back. You tell them to get off your. You tell them, or they're high school guys, they're not going to listen to you anyway.
Well, we shorten our practice. We make sure that we're constantly talking about the importance of keeping your body healthy and warm and all those good things and hydrated. With a quick turnaround like this, that's going to be probably the most important thing because of the way we want to play. We have to have guys that's hydrated and that can do what we need them to do for 32 minutes.
Is this Carson's first year at Plainview? Carson, I'm not even sure how to Hembry.
Hembry.
I know he's a young guy. He's a Plainview guy. And that was one of the first things that when I went up there to talk to people, they were very excited that they had a Plainview guy. When Coach Wagner was on the other day, he was talking about it gets more challenging when you coach against young guys who you've not seen before because they've got different ways of doing things. And right. Same thing for you guys. When you see a new coach that you haven't seen before, do you have to do some – Reggie, I'll let you grab that one. Do you have to kind of think, I got to do some things different? This guy's – I don't know if analytics are a big thing in high school basketball, but younger guys are kind of in that realm.
Well, I I guess Will is in his realm now. I like to look at, old dogs don't show all their tricks, and, some of those young guys have probably watched their coach and stole some of the things we've done, and then we look at some of the things that they're doing, and, we have to counter what they're doing. I know one thing, that they have a lot of energy on the sideline, and their team feeds off of that energy, so that's one thing that we have to try to challenge is, I guess older, more mature coaches is we got to make sure our guys are up to the challenge that those guys are going to bring and match their energy, on each end of the floor.
I haven't noticed Coach Wagner having any trouble. He seems to be doing all right. Now, Liberty gave them a heck of a game the last time they played, but otherwise his guys, he seems to be doing okay.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely.
I think they're on a streak now. I think they've won 64 or 65 district games, and I don't think you just roll out of bed and do that. So. We got some players, too, that doesn't hurt.
It helps a little bit.
So I told Will, I just saw him the other day from afar. I just popped this picture up of a very young-looking Will Flemons over here to the right. I wish I could get Brendan to pop this up from the 1995-96 Texas Tech team. I'm going to go on a little bit of a soapbox here. I looked around that arena. I've been in there a few times. There's some banners up there for different things. I don't know why they don't have a banner up there for that team. Because
no doubt.
Yeah, and I heard Jason Sasser. He was sitting in one of these chairs on Saturday. Him and James Dickey and Jason Martin were in here with Thetford and Ashby. You guys, that team has a pretty strong argument that that's the best team in Texas Tech history. Now, the Chris Beard's team played in the national championship. Didn't know that. That was I'm a basketball nerd. I watched that game or that team a lot. You have an argument there.
Well, I think with the players we had and on that team and what we accomplished going 30-2, that's hard to do. And winning the Southwest Conference outright, no blemishes on that, and had a couple of players that ended up playing in the next level. So yes, we do.
And I bring that up on a high school show because there's Will Flemons, there's Robert Brashear that used to coach here, there's James Wright that used to do a lot of. It's affected high school sports here quite a bit. We're going to come back and talk more. We'll get back to Lubbock Cooper Pirate basketball when we come back after this break on the High School Fan Zone.
Diving headfirst into Lubbock Cooper athletics. You're listening to the Pirate Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score and the 100.7 The Score mobile app.
Welcome back in. This is the Pirate Fan Zone, second segment out of 3. We're talking Lubbock Cooper men's. I just got done talking about Texas Tech boys basketball. If you guys were coaching men, it'd be one thing, and that's not a slight on your guys, but I've got a high school kid of my own at home. They're not men and women yet. They're still high school kids. You guys are 5-4 in district. Am I trying to give you one extra?
Yes, sir.
And you're hitting that stretch again that we were talking about. You beat Coronado pretty handily. Now you have Plainview at home tomorrow. Weather moved everything up. I'll repeat that again. All games are Thursday now because of the Snowmageddon or whatever it is coming on Friday, which is all right with me. That gives me an extra day of the weekend. And then you go to Caprock, Lubbock High, and then you get back into the gauntlet. Not that any of those teams can win any game, but then you got 3 of the last 4 on the road. You make that trip to Amarillo. You're going to get your guys are going to want to go to Buc-ee's and all kinds of places up there. And then, by the way, in the middle of all that, you get to play Monterey again. Josh has a really good team this year. You've seen him once. This is maybe his best team since he's been the head coach. How do you keep your guys locked in now, knowing, okay, we got back on track, now let's keep chopping wood here?
Well, I think the most important thing is you can't overlook any team. You have to focus on the ones right in front of you. We know what we have to do, and to be successful, we have to play solid basketball. We have to play our brand. Got to push the basketball. We got to defend. We got to rebound. We got to take good shots. And that's a kind of recipe for all coaches, especially at this time of the year. We just got to be more specific and how we approach things and what we're looking at and how we're going to attack things.
So, Reggie, I think he thinks I'm blowing smoke when I've said this to him before, so I'm going to get your perspective about coaching against him. His Lubbock Cooper teams always get better and better as the season goes on, and this is about when that switch kind of comes on. You've seen him the last few years. You're part of this now too. Is that what does Will do, or is it your kids out there that kind of have to embrace that, or what is it that? What does he do to inspire them to keep getting better like he does?
Well, it's like what any good coach would do. You coach against Will, and you watch film on the first games you played against him. You might as well just throw that away, because that's not the team you're going to see. And he's going to make minor adjustments. And we're going to break down the film of the teams you saw before, and we're going to change some things. But you make those adjustments of what we did. We take those clips of what we did well and the clips that we didn't do well, and you kind of fine-tune those a little bit and show the kids. And at this stage of the season, we've seen each other now. So it's all about going out there playing and executing what's called in the huddle. And that's kind of what, we've been doing, is kind of fine-tuning some things, say, okay, Will did, and I'm new, so he inherited a young team. And so that first go-around was those guys' first time of being in this district. Now they've seen it, they've got their feet wet, and now, he's making those little fine adjustments. And it's time to go out there and put it to the test on the floor.
We were talking about this in the break. Tony Wagner and I were talking about, in his district, he's the elder statesman, and he's younger than me, so I say that. So is Will. Sorry, Reggie, you got a little bit of time on me. He's coaching in a district now where he's coaching against younger guys, some of them that he coached against his players, a couple of them at least. And he talked about how he has to coach a little bit different because he knows some of them emulate him a little bit. You guys' district's not quite like that. Now, Plainview's got a young coach, but a lot of these guys you've coached against, and what Reggie just said there, you guys know each other pretty well by now. How much of that chess match is still exciting for you with what you're doing?
Well, it's just like you said, when you're playing in this league, everybody's going to make those minor adjustments. You're going to reevaluate that first half. You're going to see what you did really well, and then we're going to fine-tune, like he's talking about, fine-tune some of those things, and we're going to put some wrinkles in there. I think you'll see the second half, you'll see more of the wrinkles on the defensive side of it, more so than the offense, because offense, you know who's going to score for you, you know who's going to do these things for you, but defense is the ones that makes the big jump. And so all our guys in this league, from Amarillo High, Pillion to Monterey, Davis and stuff, everybody's going to make an adjustment. So you have to go, okay, we'll make this move. They're going to make two, and we got to make three with one step back.
Because you're not going to fool each other.
No, not at all.
You've got to get your guys to play. Girls' game last night, for example, Jason Cooper, who's been around the block a few times, switches from zone to man, and Morgan Glaspie said that she kind of expected it, and you can tell high school kids are going to do this, but sometimes they don't always completely buy in. There's some politician involved, some Dr. Phil. You got to convince them that's
true.
That's going to happen. 3 games out of 4. Now that I look at that schedule, you guys have a chance to make some hay here, and you got to make all 4 of your games. You go to Amarillo for all 4 of the second rounds. That's a weird setup. You must have made somebody mad. Got one more segment of the Pirate Fan Zone when we come back on 100.7 The Score.
Your inside look into Lubbock Cooper sports. This is the Pirate Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score and the 100.7 The Score mobile app.
Welcome back in. We're getting some guitar solo there. I don't want to interrupt that if I don't need to. Brendan's pretty good at music for a young guy. He knows, he's got some taste in there.
I'm going to let you in on a little secret. It's all random.
Is it?
It's all randomized music beds.
I thought
so that siren that you hear sometimes,
yes,
that randomly pops in. I never know when it's going to show up.
It makes me want to duck under the desk. I'm afraid there's something coming, especially right now. I thought you were going to say Chuck Hines or David Thetford was picking out music.
No, they have no clue. They have no idea.
I don't want to get too far off into music because we need to talk basketball. Plainview tomorrow afternoon, which, by the way, before I forget, what a win for your girls yesterday. And Jaden Isler has those girls playing, and that was not an easy win because Coronado plays them very well. You guys, Lee Scott was in, we were talking about whether your guys watch the girls play. I know you do because I've watched you over there. How cool was that to see that play out that way?
Well, the last couple of games, if you go back, they've been doing the exact same thing. And, what's I think is brilliant about it is he's only got 8 players.
Yes.
And, the game before that when he went into overtime, one kid get a concussion protocol because she's warming up, ball hits her in the head. And so, he's like Will, I got 7 players, and if I'd have known this earlier, I'd have moved up a player. But kids are playing hard. They bought in, and they're doing exactly what he wants to. He's got a sensational couple of scores that can shoot the basketball, and a freshman that is just hard-nosed. I mean, she gets out there, and she dictates the pace.
Now, did you know her dad when he played? Because he played for Bubba.
I did not.
Yeah.
I did not.
Yeah, I didn't know that until I sat down and talked to him a little bit. He was a dude. He was a high school player. He played for Bubba and Artesia.
That's awesome. Well, I know that his daughter has like ice in her vein. I mean, she just goes out and get it done.
And she came on with Jaden last, and she's one of those kids. You guys have a few of them. Her and Chloe, who I literally could just swing this microphone over there and say, take over. I'll just sit here and let you talk, and that'd be fine with me. So, and it was Abrielle that hit the shot. She's got some basketball DNA.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
For folks who don't know, she is, which Marshall is it? I just met him the other day. His name is escaping me. It's Mikey's niece.
Yep.
So it must be the older brother.
Yeah.
If he's listening, I'm sorry I forgot your name. I'm an old man, and my wife was sitting there when I usually, with my wife is here, she would tell me who he was. But she's got some of the Marshalls from Tulia who know a little bit about basketball, and I've watched her play a little bit. She knows what she's doing out there as well. So I know you coach girls. Reggie, have you ever coached girls?
Yeah, it was middle school. Yeah.
But you're a girl dad.
Yep.
I know you've got a son too, but we're all girl dads up here. And I will vouch for this. I love high school kids across the board. Girls listen better. And girls, all you got to do is say, especially, at least now they don't always listen to their dads necessarily, but for coaches, I've had every coach I've ever talked to that coached both said, yeah, you tell girls this and they do it.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, you guys are doing something right. Who has kind of emerged for you a little bit here?
Well, we got a couple of kids. Young kids is playing Cano. He's been sensational the whole year. When you look at him outside of this thing, and you see he's 5'6". We'll give him 5'6".
Yeah, we'll give him that.
And people are like, "Oh, we're going to just dominate." You don't do it. And he's playing great for us. And he, again, a young guy for a sophomore, Eli Vasquez, he's playing well for us right now. You got those are 2 sophomores that are starting, and then we kind of switched a little bit in our kind of our centers department because we had Tyler Hitt started most of the year for us, and now we're going a little bit more with Wyatt Hare and bringing Tyler off for another spark. And then you got some old players like, Obi's playing for us and he's playing great defense. And then you're bringing Cade Gann off the bench, gives that spark, that little push. So we're kind of mixing it in. Any given night, though, any one of those guys can erupt. Ian, it's funny, as well as this guy shoots, we have to almost threaten him to shoot the basketball. Shoot it. So any given night, we got a number of players that can fill it, put some points on the board. So we're just pass, and then whoever is hot that night, we feed them like the fever.
Yep.
Wyatt may be the most diverse athlete at Lubbock Cooper. For Wyatt Hare, because he's a really good tight end. He's playing for you guys. He's going to play baseball, correct?
Yes, sir.
He's a throwback. You don't get a whole lot of them that'll play 3 sports anymore. Now, Cade Gann, I don't know if you can tell if Cade's ever angry, but I don't want him angry at me because he's a dang good athlete too.
Yep. He is.
And you did some good coaching there. Paul Page was on here the other day, and he made me put it on the Ole Miss game. And we're sitting here talking, and Patton Pinkins gets the ball, and he starts saying, shoot it, Patton, shoot. Lock in here, Paul. 4:30 and 6 p.m., Plainview at Lubbock Cooper tomorrow. This is Randy Rosetta. We'll be back next week in the High School Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score.